Yeah, the services I took over were, there were a day service at Waddylove's centre down Queen's Road, and then there was a service up at on the old Westwood site, which was called Sheila Henry Centre, and there was a service called the Trinity Project, which was run in the building that was run by the YMCA on Trinity Road, and that had been set up by when Westwood was still running, and the occupational therapy department that ran day services for people set it up as a community project, and it was called CAPERS, KAPERS. But it was based at the Trinity Project, but it became more difficult for people to understand what it was about. Community access it was about, but then it changed its name to the Trinity Project, where they did a lot of community access, and people did a lot of arts and crafts, but then we on a more commercial level, so they were selling the pieces that they'd done. The problem with the building became we were sharing the building with lots of other people, and it was becoming more and more difficult. So that's then we had to look for some alternative premises, and that's when we found the front premises at Carlisle Business Centre, and that was all involved in my job as one of the managers at the day services. So we were always running 3 services, but we also were running a joint service with the local authority called the Fusion Project, which for people who had more challenging behaviour.
Okay, so this new joint project for people with more challenging behaviour. What exactly was that about the joint project, and I mean, what ways were people's behaviour supposedly challenging?
Well, how it was set up, it was initially a local authority run service that was run from one of the other day services, but then as it became bigger, they needed more premises, so they moved out to a building in Fagley, and it was jointly run by the local authority. It was their manager and their staff, but then we had 2 members of staff went to join that team as healthcare assistants. The challenging behaviour was people who had very little speech and often were very frustrated about what they were trying to get the messages across, but also demonstrated behaviour as in hurting themselves, called self-injurious behaviour, or hurting other people as in hitting other people, maybe antisocial behaviour as in spitting, nipping other people. So therefore when people were going out and about in the community, they needed more staff intensive support than maybe just going out in a group. And it was all about getting people to access the community, but do it in a safe way.
Okay. And the way the challenging people, the way they were cared for and supported and everything. Did you notice any changes with that over the year with regards to like the staff treatment and of the methods used?
Not at that time, no, not at that time, because it was very focused on it. A lot of the people were young people that had come out of school or that come out of colleges, so that it was a new group of people to be working with, and at that time it was very focused on a behaviour that, trying to show people that appropriate behaviour is, that you don't hurt other people, that you don't, and it was more about showing people or demonstrating to other people that this is not how you get along in society when you go out in the community, is that you can go out into Morrison's, but you can't do it if you're going to be spitting or if you're going to be hurting other people. And it was almost a way of showing people that this is how things can be, but unfortunately if you demonstrate behaviour that's antisocial, then society etc won't welcome you really.
So really was a lot of it, like, would you say, like behaviour, like modification, like therapy types?
Yeah. And lots of people had very intensive care plans and very intensive support plans that said, if this person does this is how other people should react, etc. It's like if people are spitting, then obviously people leave you, people move away from you, people don't want to be with you if you're going to spit. And it's almost about telling people that we don't do this.
Oh yeah, I see. And so you said how also with these people who have been cared for and everything, how there was a lot of a lot of it was like community access and integrating them in community and day trips. So what type of places did you like take them, and what type of like activities did you do with them?
It varied, but I mean, a lot of it was about going out into the park for a class as a local walk, for going into Bradford, into the city centre, around the shops, to go into big areas like supermarkets, like Morrison's, going and having something to eat in the cafe, going to places like Leeds, like Roundhay Park, where there's a lot of space, where people can walk freely, and it's not, you're not having to worry about people running off or people, not wanting to be part of the group. So a lot of people may have run off or were unsafe near roads, that kind of thing. So at least if you went to a park, people could walk freely and they weren't in any danger and that kind of thing. They did do bigger trips like going to the seaside and things, but obviously that takes a lot more organising and you need transport and, and that becomes a lot harder. But they always did things like going to the Blackpool Lights and things like that.